feel you partially answered that in my my next one was going to be, so is crypto more than the coin? Because obviously we all know the actual coins, but then there's the technology behind it, isn't there?
So yeah, I have this discussion a lot, and I've got a video that's coming out, and I talk a lot about, for example, Ethereum, what Ethereum is, why I'm so bullish on it. And I'll just give you kind of like a quick brief rundown. So there's two kind of types. So obviously you've got your tokens and your coins, or your currencies, for example, that are kind of focused on payment. And then you've got your technology. So for example, Ethereum is a technology like the internet. You know, the only difference is if you wanted to build an app yourself, I suppose you would pay a company to develop your app, right?
Yeah.
And they would take the profits, and then obviously they pay their taxes, whatever, whatnot. But with Ethereum, if you want to build, and then obviously you would just publish your app or your website on the internet, right?
Yeah.
But you wouldn't be paying the internet. You wouldn't be paying the owner of the internet. We are unable to invest in the internet. Whereas with Ethereum, what happens is you have to pay in Ethereum to be able to build on the Ethereum network. And this is how they make money. This is how the price goes up. Then there's obviously the fees. So that's how they make the money. And then obviously you've got your data storage, your interplanetary file systems like Filecoin, Arweave, for example. So obviously they make money. So it's a technology. But what it is in order for you to store information, in order for you to store data, you need to buy Arweave. Right. And obviously, we know that the more stock, shares, or asset that's bought, the more it goes up in value.
Yeah.
So obviously, you need to buy Arweave or Filecoin in order to store your data, and therefore the price goes up. And then you got something like Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is, you know, it's not so much a currency, it's more an asset.
Okay.
Very similar to gold as a store of value. Obviously not exactly the same. I mean, let's face it, gold, you know, has held its value very well for a number of years.
Yeah.
It's very good for savings, but then at the same time, Bitcoin has demonstrated since its inception that it's not only good for kind of hedging against inflation, but it continues to grow on average around 200% a year since its inception. And that's a pristine asset. 200% a year, that's gains.
Bro, that's serious.
You know, anybody that invested in Bitcoin last year has not lost a penny. Anybody who invested in Bitcoin since its inception has never lost a penny if they just held it. Yeah. If they held it, yeah, because it would have only continued to grow and go up. So yeah, you have two types. So you have your tokens, your currencies, your stable coins that are used for payments and stuff like that. And then you've got your technologies, your interplanetary file systems, your networks, Ethereum, Phantom, Solana, Polkadot. And then you've got your NFTs, you know, your art, your games. So we've gone from, for those of you familiar with Call of Duty, you know, you buy guns and whatnot, they're not yours. They don't belong to you. If the game developers wanted to go on some kind of skullduggery, they could take it all away from you, say, do you know what, you're not playing the game no more. How about that?
Yeah.
But you buy a token, don't you?
Yeah.
You have to buy tokens in order to buy those guns.
Right. Yeah.
But nobody benefits from that except for the company. So then you have this kind of DeFi, Ethereum, Phantom, Solana, decentralized finance, DeFi. And basically what that does is now it takes away that power from the kind of the companies and gives it to the people who were given their time to the game. So what would happen now is, so we went from paying to play to free to play, Fortnite. PUBG. I don't play that one. Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite either. That's for the kids. It was free to play, you know, free to play, but they made money through skins and so on and so forth. And still the skins weren't yours. And now we're at a point now where you get paid to play. And there's some good games actually out there. that you have to put money in, but you earn money to play. You know, you actually earn money to play. So crypto is more than just currencies. It is massively disruptive. Like I said, you're getting paid to play games, you're getting paid to use the internet, Brave, for example, you're getting paid, you can get paid based on whatever's being built on a network, for example, Ethereum, Phantom, Solana, for example. So yeah, it's so complex. There's so much to it. It's not easy to just answer in one go. But yeah, it's more than just currencies. It's more than just tokens. I think that puts a lot of people off. And coming back to what you said, so I'm waffling a bit, but
no, you're not. You're really not, bro.
Now you lot know what it's like being in the group with me. They're waffle. So I think that what another thing you mentioned with regards to not buying too much and being a little bit dubious. Obviously, you need to understand what you're investing in, understandably. But the thing is, the millions are made. Yeah, these millionaires are made because they get in early. They're early adopters, and this technology is so disruptive. There's so much value in this space that the governments are not going to shut it down. They're going to control it. That's what they're going to try and do, is control it. But what people don't realize is that's beneficial to the likes of me and you who invest. Because as soon as the government say, right, boom, Bitcoin's cool, you can invest in Bitcoin. As soon as they say, yeah, Ethereum's legal, it's fine, don't worry. Oh, you know, we're going to use it ourselves. On that note, Phantom has governments, for example, building on their using their technology. So we're already at that point. We've got the biggest banks in the world investing in Bitcoin, right? We know that money talks. We know that capitalism runs this thing. So there's no way they're going to shut it down. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. As soon as they give that regulatory clarity, the institutional investors are going to come in, and the price is just going to go through the roof. If you see some of the estimates I've seen that Bitcoin could go to, insane. It's actually insane.
And do you feel we're close to that, to governments?
I think that so for me, I think that we're definitely getting closer. I think that I think what they're trying to do is really get all the pieces to the puzzle in place before they say yes, it's okay. But we have to remember that there are governments that are already using and accepting crypto. There are states in America that are crypto friendly. Texas is crypto friendly. That's where most of the miners from China have gone to. It's Texas. North America is crypto friendly. So El Salvador made Bitcoin a legal tender.
Like, I see that.
Personally, I mean, who spends Bitcoin on a coffee? You know, that's like taking one of your gold coins and buying a coffee. Like, who does that?
Exactly.
You know, there's other means you can do that by. But it's a matter of when, not if. There's way too much money in this for them to just shut it down. They want, you know what, like, they're greedy. They want a piece of this pie, and they just want to regulate it. But like I said, that'll be beneficial to us because we'll also get more safety nets around us as retail investors, because now what will happen is there'll be more regulatory pressure on the exchanges.
Do you think there'll be downsides to the government stepping in for them having control?
Look, this is how I see it, bro. This is how I see it. So, like, I've had people say to me, oh, I looked at how much tax I got to pay if I make this amount of money in a year on my crypto. And I'm saying, bruv, was that money you had before? Like, imagine you're complaining about paying tax on something that you just got a return on that was 10x. 10 times what you imagine complaining. Gratitude is the only attitude, bro. Exactly. Like, isn't that what we say? Yeah. Like, take my tax. Take my tax. That's calm. Like,
that's truth. That's the truth, bro.
How can you complain that you just made money from touching buttons on your phone? It just doesn't make sense to me. So for me, I always like to turn negatives into positive where appropriate. And in my opinion, the only negatives that could come out of it would only kind of benefit us. But as early investors, we're in a good position. You know,
Yeah.
only 1% of the whole world is invested in crypto.
Really,
That's
just
that's how,
1%, yeah.
that's how early we are.
Jeez.
That's how early we are. So I give you an example. So I done the video that I'm going to drop today,
Yeah,
demonstrates how much money you would have earned if you had been investing 10, 20, and 50 pounds a month since January to August in Solana. And I'll just give you one quick spoiler. So if you was investing 10 pounds a month in Solana since January, right now, you would have spent 80 pounds. Yeah? But you'd be sitting on £1,000. So you just ask yourself, yeah, you know, is this something they'd really shut down? There's too much value in it for them to shut it down. They love money. Over the last year or so since COVID, we've seen the biggest transfer of wealth that this world has ever seen. Statistically, there are more millionaires than we've ever had. What it means to be low income is changing. And even people on low income have more. Highly technology, you know, really kind of technical phones, good cars, you know. So what it means to not have a lot of money is changing. But cash is dying. So there needs to be a hedge against that and a way out of that. And I personally feel that Bitcoin is going to be one of the ways in which, and the crypto space is going to be one of the ways in which they keep the US dollar as the reserve currency, because a lot of people don't realize that the US dollar underpins all money in the world. So it's about, they want to keep that. They would not want that to go at the end of the day. So yeah, downsides I think would work in our favor. I think the downsides would affect the people who are able to manipulate the price more, the price action. So for example, maybe with bad news, good news, or maybe even by putting big amounts of money in, dumping it, taking it out, and then also companies that do rug pulls, you know. So so no, I don't personally see there being a negative. I think for me personally, the only negative would be right now was to be one of the laggards. So one of the people who waits, you know, one day people are gonna say, I wish I had bought Solana at £100. That's all I'm saying. That's all. And right now it's hit £100 this weekend. But I'm telling you, in the future, people are gonna say, I wish I had bought Solana when it was £100. Yeah, and then you're gonna have the people who bought it at a score of £30, £50 sitting there rubbing their hands. Yeah, even just a little bit a month. Yeah,
Solana's a bit of a sore subject for me, bro. Because you told me about Solana from early. You told me when it was $15, or
I think I put it in the group.
Yeah.
So when I first fell in the rabbit hole, I put it in the group when it was £2 a coin.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, and Polkadot was £1.50. Just let that sink in for a second.
Like I'll probably put a screenshot up, bro. But you told me when it was £16, bro, and this is just a random conversation we had on the phone, and I bought one, but I only bought one, bro, because at the time I was trying to build I can't remember, it might have been Tattooed Chef, I don't know what, but I was trying to build a position in something, so I had limited funds for crypto. But you said buy at least 10 and stake them. I bought one, bro. So don't get me wrong, gratitude's the attitude. I've turned that £16 into, like you're saying, what is it, about 100 now?
Yeah.
But bruv, it should have been 10 or at least that I bought. Do you know what I mean? And I would have staked it and been receiving the interest.
But you know what, bro? Yeah, I think as you know, as an investor, there's always something else to invest in.
Always.
So Phantom, right now we're up 5x since we invested. So I think I put that one in the group when it was like 15 pence or something. It's up. Today, last I checked, about 70p, 80p.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just the beginning. Now, you might think to yourself that you missed the boat, but you didn't. Because there's always something you can invest in. There's always somewhere else you can put more money. And I personally feel that Solana is still early days. I don't believe that anybody investing now, even though personally I'm not buying at this price. So, you know, as Warren Buffett says, you know, you buy when others are fearful and sell when others are greedy. So right now everybody's being greedy. I'm not doing any buying. I've just been watching the space, taking profits on some of the stuff. So, for example, ADAX, I think I put that in the group the other day. We made a nice, tidy profit on ADAX. We did a 10x on ADAX. You know, just put our money in. Boom.
Yeah.
I remember I woke my wife up about that one. I was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
look." She's like, like, you know, and then the next morning she's like, "Did you wake me up?" I showed her. She was like, "Oh, let me check my holdings," because she started investing them as well.
Nice,
So
nice,
she's like, "Oh my gosh, look at my Cardano!" Like, you know, like, whoa.
Yeah.
And it's early days for Cardano. If you look at what Solana's doing, Cardano will hit them heights, I believe. Not financial advice.
Yeah.
I believe Cardano will hit those heights. Phantom will be up there. Polkadot will be up there. So yeah.
Okay, bro. That's
yeah,
good to know still.
you've not totally missed the boat.
Yeah, like you said, there's always others, isn't it?
Yeah, and plus we're due a correction. We're due a correction. There'll always be a crash, so there'll always be a time to buy. So we'll wait till there's blood in the streets, as they say, and then we start buying.
See, that's my problem, bruv. And I know it's a lot of others as well, is where there's always other positions I'm trying to fill, my money's going straight in that, meaning I've got no cash on the side. But I always need to have cash on the side ready for these things, corrections, and just good deals in general. Do you know what I mean? But that's something I'm going to be working on.
That's something I've been doing. I did a video on that as well. So what I have a system where I split my money.
Okay.
So I do a split of, so I'll put money that I'm putting into my blue chip stuff.
Yeah.
And then a certain percentage will go into my risky stuff, and I just stick to that. So rather than concentrating on a particular thing every month, I'm always kind of topping up the speculative plays and the kind of blue chip kind of assets at the same time, depending on where the market is. And then if nothing's at the price that I want that stuff at, I still put the money in the account and I just leave it there. And it's hard, isn't it? When the money's burning a hole in your pocket, you're like, "Ooh, what can I buy?" You know. So yeah, I get it. But you know, together we rise and we continue to grow, and continue to learn. You know what I mean, bro?
I hope people pay attention to that, because that's a lesson that you're going to learn the hard way. Otherwise, you'll be pumping money into a particular stock, and then another one you want comes to your target price, and you've got nothing to put into it. Now you've either got to sell something, or you just got to watch it leave without.
Well, yeah. So that's what I'm saying, man. I never chase, bro. I never chase, and I think FOMO is really powerful. So you got to actually really kind of be disciplined, and even though you might feel like you missed out on something, like I said, there's always something else.
Always.
You know? So it's just about realizing that, because I think, you know, I know people. I got a friend who sold his Ethereum. He sold it at £1,500 a coin, and we're at 2,800 today. And all he had to do was hold it.
Just hold it.
All he had to do is hold, but he sold it to buy something else.
Okay.
That's not really moving. So it's like, you sold a blue chip asset basically for
not a penny
shit
stock.
Basically. So yeah.
I bet. Well, do you know what? I bet he's learned. I bet he learned from that still.
Yeah, he did, definitely. He did. I think, it's just about being really disciplined.
Yeah.